Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, Unfiltered Opinions. My name is Jason Sims, and on this episode we are going to cover the topic of paper towel hoarding and also other unnecessary item hoarding that happened about 2 months prior and a tiny bit even now occurring during the pandemic. So, as many of you are aware, there have been a lot there no actually there have been a ton of people during the pandemic who are flipping out saying, "Oh my god, I have to hoard up on all this stuff so that way I can survive this pandemic, so that way I don't get the disease." And millions of Americans would flock to different stores, different retailers, such as Costco, Walmart, Home Depot, Target, essentially any huge retailer that would sell toilet paper, other sanitary products, hand sanitizer, masks, the whole 9 yards of that nature. And it got me thinking, why are you hoarding toilet paper? But most importantly, they're hoarding all these other sanitary items, which is, I mean, hoarding. That's just selfish. That's just selfish as hell. Um, but onto the other items later. Primarily toilet paper. Unless you have dysentery or explosive diarrhea or some other condition that requires you to hoard up on toilet paper, why the hell are you hoarding on toilet paper? It makes no sense. What? Are you trying to make an early Halloween costume by going old school and wrapping yourself in toilet paper to be a DIY mummy like they did back in the 70s and even now? It's a waste. Not only are you wasting your money, but also you just look really stupid doing it. If you're gonna hoard anything during a pandemic or during any global crisis, you might want to stock up on non-perishable food items. You know, anything in cans, anything in packets, any powder, like powdered mix, like mixed drinks, like Kool-Aid, or any sort of juice flavored powder enhancing flavor for your water, and also what? And also other non-perishable foods like ramen packets, essentially any noodle packets like or any frozen foods or anything like that. That I can understand because you want to stock up so that way you don't run out of food in a curtailed amount of time. And also, you want to make sure, and also save some food for other people too. Because y'all selfish people out there. There are a bunch of selfish people out there. And on top of that, when like I have read articles online that said that people are hoarding. Okay, so they're buying hand sanitizer, masks, and other personal hygiene equipment, sanitizing equipment in bulk, and they're reselling them. If y'all think, okay, so Gary Vee, I'm gonna paraphrase Gary Vee. He said, an entrepreneurial spirit is about the hustle. It's about the grind. Buying really cheap items that are vintage and reselling them on eBay, for example, and flipping them for a quick buck. But buying hand sanitizer and reselling them for an exorbitant price. Yeah, I think I just I just flung a little bit of spit on my trackpad, but that's besides the point. That's not being entrepreneurial. You're being selfish to the utmost when other people are in desperate need of it. And here's an article from CNBC News. I'll link the article down in the description. The title is Who Bought All the Toilet Paper? Study Suggests Who Was Most Likely to Stockpile During COVID-19. And I'm just going to summarize the articles. In mid-March, coronaviruses skyrocketed in the US, and a lot of them were hunkering down to buy toilet paper. Lots of it. But not everyone grabbed every roll in sight. Let's see here. Oh, and here's a key thing. Here's a key component of the article. It says, the study looked at whether different personality traits were associated with toilet paper hoarding and found stockpilers tended to be more anxious and fearful about the coming health threat compared with those who didn't load up on the product. Okay, it's perfectly understandable that there will be a large portion or population of any community that gets anxious during a pandemic, during any sort of crisis, whether it's medically related or otherwise. Yeah, I can understand. And also, I'm gonna quote Dr. Mike on the popular YouTube channel, Dr. Mike. By the way, shout out to Dr. Mike. Love that guy. Love his YouTube channel. He stated, "Be alert, not anxious." And I 100% agree with him. Because if you're overriding your brain with anxiety, especially during a crisis situation like we are enduring now, you're only going to increase your cortisol levels on top of whatever other stresses are weighing you down. Because life is stressful. And it says here, researchers from Germany surveyed 966 volunteers from 22 countries, including the US. Participants, they filled out a psych questionnaire regarding their demographic. And it said, what most surprised the researchers was the similarity in response, no matter which country people came from, said study co-author Theo Top. I don't know if I butchered your name. I apologize. His last name is spelled Toppe, Top, a doctoral student and research associate at the Max Planck Institute of Evolutionary Anthropology in Leipzig, Germany. And I'm going to summarize the rest of this. Okay. So the study found that stockpiling likely wasn't limited to being fearful, anxious, dependent, sentimental, and or conscientious. So it wasn't just that. It said, from our point of view, it seems plausible that our pattern of results, more threat goes along with more stockpiling, exists for other commodities. And also, psychologist Nayda Gold wasn't surprised by the findings. Honestly, neither am I. Yeah, it makes sense that people, they stockpile so that way they can sustain themselves for a certain period of time. But don't hoard unnecessary items like toilet paper. Like I said before, unless you have extreme diarrhea and it's a medical condition that you have, or you have dysentery. But this ain't the Oregon Trail, let's be real. Unless you're living in those types of situations, there is absolutely no need to stockpile on toilet paper. And yeah, these people, they have a psychological disorder because let's say that my hand here, that is that is the baseline for no stress in your life. And let's say that my hand here is the normal or average anxiety threshold. I feel like all the people who have been stockpiling on toilet paper and all these other unnecessary amenities, their anxiety is here or even way up there. Y'all need Jesus. Y'all need to get yourself checked. Y'all need to stockpile, well, not stockpile, appropriately ration and purchase reasonable items. Like, let's say, a reasonable amount of medical supplies. In case you get injured, it can range from Band-Aids to alcohol pads to Tylenol, to Pepto-Bismol, that nature. Food, of course, anything unperishable, which is the ideal item that you would stockpile, or no, not stockpile on, that you would purchase and ration. And of course, water, because all human beings are made up of water. And to me, it's just ridiculous. There are some insane people out there who don't know how to properly prepare themselves. Okay, so there are some people in everyday normal life who can't even properly prepare themselves for what they have to do today, the next day, the next week. They can't even do that. So imagine what it's like to be a person if they can't properly prepare for themselves in any normal circumstance, in everyday normal life. Imagine how they would act if they can't prepare for a pandemic or any other global crisis, or not even that, any national or global crisis. So yeah, in my opinion, everyone who bum rushed every retailer to buy or to stockpile and hoard toilet paper, get yourself checked out. There is absolutely no need to stockpile on toilet paper. And also, like I piggybacked on this before, with hand sanitizer and other medical related supplies like masks, gloves, hand sanitizers, if you think that you're entrepreneurial to hoard, to purchase in bulk all those medically related material, stockpile, hoard them, and resell them at like sneakerhead level prices, you are criminals. You need to get yourself checked. Y'all need Jesus. Y'all need to be arrested, because that is the most inhumane, cruel, and selfish way to make money. Especially when people are the most desperate, on their hands and knees, praying to God that their family members survive, well, God forbid, contract the disease, hopefully survive. And you are reaping the benefits of their suffering. Shame on you. Well, anyway, that's the episode for today on Unfiltered Opinions. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe so that way you can be notified, and hit the notification bell so that way you know exactly when I upload videos, because I will be doing this on a frequent basis. Most likely Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So 5 days a week. So yeah. And also comment below on what you think about all these other people who are stockpiling, hoarding, and trying to make a buck by flipping it, and all the unnecessary amenities like toilet paper that they are buying and hoarding. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And I will link this article down in the description so that way you can read for yourself the article that I summarized and paraphrased on. And like I said before, big shout out to Gary Vee and big shout out to Dr. Mike for the for the phrase stay alert, not anxious. Peace.